Hello, you beautiful, amazing people, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. It is Keltie, and I'm beside the Netflix sensation herself. Yes, we've been keeping this secret under wraps, and I'm so excited to talk about it. Sav, our Netflix star, how's it going?
Ooh. Have you actually watched the episode?
I didn't know it was actually out yet.
Yeah, it's out.
Oh my God.
Okay, don't call me a star, ma'am. Don't call me a star.
You're a star in
I
my
had a
mind.
cameo.
Oh, I didn't know it was out. I blame.
Yeah.
Netflix logged me out, and so I had to restart my algorithm. So it didn't even. I assumed it would be in the top 10. So that's on.
That's okay.
Netflix.
It literally dropped. I mean, we're recording this on Wednesday. It dropped yesterday. So.
Oh, okay.
How dare you not know everything I'm doing?
I know. I just assumed I'd seen the post.
I know. I did post.
Oh, I haven't been on Instagram. So that's on me being offline.
No, that's fair. Honestly, though, I know I literally texted my parents being like, just, it's live. My mom was so funny. She was like, she doesn't like competition shows. I love competition shows. So whenever she's here with me, she's like, oh my God, you're making me watch all these like weird competitions. And so I knew she wasn't going to love Squid Games. And she was like, said she watched it. And then she's like, okay, once you're done, I'm out of it. But when I die in the show, she literally texts me the cutest thing. She's like, oh, like, great job. I love seeing you on there. Your dying was really sad. And I'm like, oh, like, did you cry, winky face? Like, joking. My mom's like, yeah, I actually cried. I was like, Mom, I was like, I didn't die. And she goes, I know, thank God, I felt crazy. And so I called her, and this is like around the time my grandma passed from a few years ago. So she feels always very sad around this time, which is very understandable. And so when I called her, I was like, why'd you cry? She was like, I just, the thought of also you too. But literally, if you watch me die in the video, I'm not like dramatic. I'm like, Mom, you can barely see that. I like, don't worry. There was no blood.
Yeah.
But it was cute.
Yeah. I'm so excited to watch. Even just as like, obviously, I'm so excited to watch for you, but this is the first Netflix Squid Game reel? Because I'm getting confused with like Mr. Beast. Yeah. So I'm so excited to like see the difference between Mr. Beast and Netflix.
Yeah, so I'll explain the difference. So, well, Mr. Beast is very different from Squid Games, because this is like actually it's Netflix produced. It's called Squid Games: The Challenge. Yeah. And for those that don't know, it's a reality TV show that they pick up on, and it's based off of Squid Games, the TV show. And the premise, for those that don't know, is you compete. There's 456 players. They compete for $4.56 million. So at the end, there's a winner that gets that. But in the real show, they die. And like when they get out, they die, and like they don't know that they're going to die at first. But then they can vote themselves out. This whole thing, if you guys want to watch Squid Games, it's a Korean show.
Great show.
Netflix was like, it's like one of the most successful shows. So they're like, we're going to do a reality TV show. And it actually ended up making them so much money. It's like one of their largest reality shows. So they did a season 2, and that's the one I went on. Okay. And I literally just, I love, like I said, competition shows. And I watched it and I said, Michael, I can do this better. He's like, okay, apply. And I said, okay. And so I went and I applied. And that's how I got it. And like, but I applied for Survivor. I always like this kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, this is very on brand with what I like to do. I don't think people know I like that stuff. That's like a hobby of mine. But I'm like, no, one day you'll find me on Survivor. Like, I got Squid Games. I want Survivor.
I'm so excited for you to be in the net. Because, once again, we usually chat before an episode, like before or after, and just like about our lives. And one thing you mentioned a lot is the game shows. Like, I can contest for you've been like applied for all of them. This is your moment. So when you actually got it, we were like amazed. And now I'm just excited for you to be in like the ecosystem of, you know what I mean? Totally. Like there's those characters that like pop up in different shows. And I'm like, this is a story arc of, this is their first sample of Sav becoming a reality television competition. What was, I have to ask, what was like the most shocking thing that people would be surprised about that like as being on a Netflix set?
How, not even Netflix, but reality, how long it actually takes to film. That, I had no idea. When you watch these shows, it seems seamless. Now I have a whole new appreciation for any type of show. It could be Selling Sunsets, Bachelor, whatever. This shit takes hours. And like you refilm things over and over and over. And not the games, like those are like, it's a real reality TV show, but it's like the B-rolls of things that make it look cool. And like we would just be stuck in rooms for like 5 hours filming a walkout scene. And like, it was just crazy. Or like it happens really fast on the show, but like I was really there for days in the dorm. Like, but it looked like I just went immediately, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's like the biggest thing is I had no idea how long things took. I like thought I'd get into the dorm and we'd like play the game. We didn't play the first game for like, oh my God, I think I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I didn't play this game till like maybe 5 p.m.
That's crazy.
I didn't go to bed till like 2 a.m. and then I woke up at 6 a.m. And it's just insane. Well, we don't have any time clocks, but we could kind of check, you know, at the medic station. And we're like, oh my God, we barely slept. But yeah, that's probably the like weirdest thing is it's just also not as glamorous.
Oh, I could see that. Then I always wonder this, like with like just watching like Love is Blind and all this. And it's like, it's such a big thing when they get their phones back. Like what was like your, how much of the outside world, or were you in your own bubble and you had like no sense of current events? Did you have your phone? Like what were those like?
Yeah, you're like in your own bubble for sure. Cause there's no, you can't have anything. You can't even have your skincare. Yeah. And you could have a book. We were allowed, we stayed in a hotel before to like go over certain rules, take photos, things like that. You have books that you're allowed to have. You can't have your skincare in that hotel room, but once you go into the game, it's immersive and you're like a prisoner and like you don't have a say for anything. Yeah. Like you take everything away and you just hope, like I had really bad cystic acne, but it's not like you even saw it, you know, but like I was really struggling with it, but I couldn't get help for that. It just was what it was, you know? Yeah. So yeah, but when I did get home and like when I finished, I stopped filming. It was like 4 a.m. in the morning. And like I got to the hotel and I got my phone and I was so overwhelmed. I didn't go on my phone, like social media for like 3 days, like until I got home. Yeah. Which there was like a crazy plane crash and I was really glad I didn't go on social media because that would have made me scared.
That was then. Yep. Didn't need that. Especially your mind, like you're probably so fragile with just like mentally, physically exhausted. And then you add in like any like flight anxiety. I'm like, that was the universe saying, hey, don't go online right now. You don't need this.
Yeah. But I did get like super sick after the show. And like people that watch it, people talk about being sick where they're like, I have a fever. Like it's like a thing on set that you get, and it's because you're all like together, and there were people coughing that you're like, oh no, why are you on the show with a cough? I got so violently ill like a day after I got eliminated, and then my friends that stayed in had to deal with fevers playing the game, which is crazy. But I was sick for like 2 months because I just didn't take care of myself well. I like wasn't sleeping. I hated the food, so I just wasn't eating a lot because like and I was also nervous. So like I would have been smarter about that. But I know you're gonna watch it, but so people don't know this probably, and I don't know how other shows work, but they call and they give you a heads up of like what you're gonna be seen in. And I would assume it's because think of like people, if you said something really embarrassing, they may want to give you a heads up to like,
that's nice.
You know, or like maybe something will trigger PTSD. Like they want to like just be really thoughtful, the welfare team. And this girl calls me and she's like, yeah, so like you're mingling, like I see you in certain roles, I see your death, whatever. And I was like, cool, okay. Like I really didn't make it far, and I know you're gonna watch it, but for those that have watched it, I'm gonna talk about it now. But like I got out in this pentathlon game and it was such a bummer, but what can you do with these group games, right? And so they were saying, wait, where was I going with this?
That you're going out. I'm not really sure the direction you're
dead. Oh, my scene.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like so excited I can probably talk about it. I'm like blacking out. Okay, so she tells me basically, she's like, you are seen, you're just not heard because you didn't make it far. I was like, cool, no worries. That sounds great. I appreciate it. Then I'm watching the show and like a lot of people did watch parties. I was like, no, I want Millie and that is it. Like, I mean, Michael, but he was working. I was like, I'm watching this at 6 a.m. Like, you can either come and watch it with me or I'm watching it by myself because I was so curious how the episode turned out. And where a lot of people are like, no, I want to watch it with my friends. I'm like, first one, my anxiety needs to go. And so Millie comes over, we're watching it. And I told Millie, I was like, I'm not speaking in it, but I guess we can look out for my face. Like, that's what I heard. We're watching this and there's a scene and I'm talking in it. And I'm like, how did this girl not tell me I have a scene in this where and like, you can't see the cameras. Like they're like all plastered on like the beds, which it's impressive camera quality. But I had no idea. I was just talking to this guy, Mark, and they were like, what do you do for a job? And I was like, I'm a personal trainer. And they're like, cool. But I was like, wait, nobody told me. She was like, no, you have no talking scenes. And I'm like, did you just not watch this? Because girl, I got 3 lines in. Winning.
That's great. Yeah, because you told me ahead of time there's no line, so I just was expecting to just see your face and like maybe your death. So like,
I know.
And now I'm even more excited.
Imagine Millie and I are watching, and I was like, oh, this is the scene I'm assuming where these twins are trying to eliminate. And because when I was in there, I knew they were eliminating. And even after, they were trying to talk to me about like, what's your player number? And I wouldn't give it to them. But they don't show that stuff on TV. Yeah. But there was more talk, right? And so, yeah, I was just sitting with this guy, Mark, who's like such a sweetheart, and just like chatting with him. And they came up because they wanted to try and get him out. And for some weird reason, they included that. And I was like, I may have not been in long, but at least I got shown and I can hear my voice on Netflix. I was like, that's a win. That's a slay.
You can officially put Netflix star, I feel, in your bio if you wanted to. You're like, you've had a speaking and visual role on Netflix. Like, you weren't an extra. You were a cast. You know what I mean? I feel that's like, if you don't talk, you're kind of an extra. I hate to say it, but you had a line. Therefore,
I had like 4 words. I think I also said, yeah. And I was like,
dare I say main character?
Dare I say that was all about me?
I mean, I'm shocked it's not on my algorithm.
So many being like, wait, when did you get eliminated? And I'm like, oh, God, can you not just let me have my one scene and be happy? These people are complaining, I wanted to see you more. I'm like, yeah, me too. Me too, bro. Yeah. But I chose the wrong one. So
you're like, yes, this was my point. I wanted to go on one line and get killed. You're like, that was my plan. I didn't want the money. I didn't need the couple mil.
And it's like a pentathlon. And my friend Anya had taken longer playing this game Gongi. And I had cards, and we died at cards because you have to get in a team of 10. We are with all of our friends. Everybody chose their alliances. And I remember my friend Steven being like, we shouldn't be on the same team. I think we're going to have to play each other. We should break each other up. And I was like, no, it'll be fine. And it's like, I had met Steven like right in the games, and he had been like one of my good guy friends. And then Anya and this girl, Emily. And so we like all sit down. I'm like, no, it'll be fine. We're going to play together. It'll be like Battleship or whatever. No, they like split you down the middle. I'm in the middle and I go on this opposite side. But our friend Emily, she's played Gongi her whole life. And so we looked at each other and we're like, we're screwed. Like we knew we were going to lose.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. But I'm excited to watch my friends. I mean, it's crazy. All my friends made it like extremely far in this game. So at least like I get to see them roll out and get also the behind the scenes stories. So that's like fun to do. And I had I did do a little party with like Michael, Simon, and Millie. Bless her heart. Nice. She's watched it like 3 times with me. But that was like good enough for me where I'm happy. Like I really am not much in this show. So I was like, I just want to have fun. And we all like the competition show. So we were watching it just cackling.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be. I didn't even think about like how fun it is to watch. Because like the one downside about reality shows, especially ones like that, like, yeah, near the end, you kind of have your favorites, but they're just these random people. So you don't really care that much. But for you, like, that's got to just be like a weird thing that, like, you know, so many of these people and you actually have like friends and all that. So, like, I just picture like my friends in Squid Games, like watching it. Like, obviously you, but if the rest of the cast I knew, I'm like, oh, that would be just like pure entertainment.
It's also entertaining to see how they get portrayed.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm like, oh, no, they're actually like really sweet. Or like they portray, or like this girl that I met there, she is like such a crazy character in it. And like she is crazy. Like her personality is wild. She is like this spoiled girl and she loves that kind of thing about herself. But I was like, I loved her personality and like liked her a lot in the games. And like, it just is interesting to see how they portray that persona on TV because they can always kind of like have you feel a certain way.
Yep.
But yeah, but you do meet like, you'll meet that guy, Mark. He was like, honestly, very accurate, like so sweet.
Oh, nice.
And then you would meet like some people in the game that I had met before. And I was like, oh, I didn't think that they were like shysty. And I'm watching this game and I'm like, oh, they are. Like they would have actually been a-holes, but they just were nice to your face.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy to find out like the people you thought were normal. Like, because there's so many people on that show and they're actually the villain and not even just edited that way. It's like, oh no, they were playing the game. They were actually... Like, that's such like a trippy thing. Don't you wish you had that in everyday situations, like confessionals, in the sense like you meet someone at the coffee shop and you're like, oh, how's it going? How's it going? Da, 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 da. And then you go away. And in the confessional, they'd be like, she was an asshole. Like, you know what I mean? But like, you don't get that. So you kind of get that experience.
To like, yeah, actually hear their real thoughts after they did something, or like what they really thought of, like this girl hugs somebody and she's like, seems like she's trying too hard, you know?
Oh,
And you're like, oh, you really feel that way about people? Yeah.
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 Oh, that's
but it was
crazy.
fun. And like, I mean, I got good friends from it where like this girl, Anya, I like talked to her every day and I met her in it. And it was odd. Her number is I think it's one above or below me. And so I'm like 387. And when I met her, I was like, oh, what are you? And she was like, oh, I'm 386. And she's 386. I'm like, oh, that's so weird. Like, we're right next to each other. Then I'm like, yeah, my birthday's around this time. And she's like, oh, mine too. I'm like, when is yours? Mine's February 5th. Hers is February 6th. And I was like, that's so weird.
Crazy.
But I had 3 of them came to visit Michael and I in Puerto Rico. It was Anya, Emily, and Steven. And that was so fun because Michael was like, I had hung out with Steven a lot and he's like, oh my God, I think I would love your husband. I think we'd hit it off. And I'm like, dude, yeah, absolutely. Come. Cause I invited the girls and I was like, is that kind of weird? Like, Michael, do you want to hang out with him? He was like, no, like he sounds awesome. If he's your friend. Yeah, absolutely. And they hit it off. We all hung out. Steven's kind of like a guy's girl. Yeah. He can hang with the girlies, you know, like Michael can hang with the girlies. And so
definitely.
That's where I was like, this is a very compatible, fun group. And yeah, it was like, if anything, I got cool friendships and could say I went on a Netflix reality TV show.
I love that. Did it almost feel like adult summer camp in a weird way?
Yeah. Also, it made you realize how inconsiderate people are and immature they are when it comes to following directions. And like, maybe it's because everybody had weird personalities and that's why they got on. You know, I was like, that was like summer camp where that annoying boy that like wouldn't shut up. There was those people where I'm like, how do you function in real life?
Yeah.
Like,
you think all those people outgrow it, but you're like, no, I just need to be put in that situation. Like, it's, you know how you really can tell who someone is when they're angry, when you're traveling. Like, there's certain moments when you see like, oh, that's them angry. I feel you got to experience like, because in essence, they're in survival mode. So you got to see people in like their worst. And so it's like, oh, you can really tell how someone is.
Yeah, absolutely. Or also, I think maybe some people would be really extra because maybe they want to be shown or something. There was a lot of that where I was kind of like, dude, just play the game. I think you'll be fine. But I don't know. I was like, I couldn't tell if it was their personality or what. But I was like, dude, that's got to be low-key annoying every single day to be like such... Like, they'd be like, oh, you know, say we had a seminar on, like, how to sleep on the beds. Yeah. And, like, there'd be a million questions after they just explained the beds over and over and over. And I'd be like, do you like, it was camp. It was camp.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. But, I mean, I like, forgot about it until you just asked. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was really annoying. It was, like, grown adults just don't listen and speak over each other. Like,
oh, that's so frustrating.
Kind of makes it good, I guess. Like, it makes it juicy.
I was like, unfortunately, you need those characters. Like, you need the idiot that doesn't pay attention because they're going to screw up and make for good television. But, like, as someone who's, like, a law-abiding citizen, you're like, come on, just listen to the rules. But unfortunately, basic rule takers don't make for great reality television. The crazies do. The crazy, or at least you just need a good balance. You just need a couple of the crazies.
Yeah, like there were some really cool cats, some really wild cats, and I could see why they would get casted for a show. You know, like they do make really good TV. Watching it, I'm like, this is actually very interesting.
And you always wonder, like, I just even think of myself, like, if I were to go on reality television, as we all think, and now you've experienced this, but you're like, do I just be myself, but like try really hard? Like, you know what I mean? You're like, or what self do you lean into? Or do you just completely make a character and go for it? Like, it's always like fascinating. I'm like, do you just decide to go pure evil and then be like, you know what, I make for great television? Or you just try to stay true to yourself? Or do you just like, I've always been like, what would I do?
Yeah, honestly, they ask you that in the casting. They ask a lot of these questions. And like, they'll ask, are you willing to be a villain? Or how do you feel if you were prototyped that way, characterized that way, not prototyped, or just like how far would you go for the money? And I think they wanted to understand if you'd be ruthless or not, or maybe you're a really sweet person. And they also ask like what makes you different, like what's happened in your life. and like something interesting. I honestly couldn't tell you why they casted me. I mean, like, I don't even, like, they knew I was a personal trainer, but like I had kind of talked about my past and how I moved a lot growing up, and I mean, my house burned down when I was young, and they were really interested in that story. And to me, I'm like, well, yeah, that's just like how my life was. But they're like, wow, that's so unique. Like, I think, and it's like why it makes it you who you are. They would kind of like dig in, but you do a psych test, you do multiple psych tests, you do social media checks, you do physicals, and that's all to just make sure you're able and healthy, you can go on it. But they had really good support. If you needed anything at any point, they would help you. And you have multiple people always checking in and just like, how do you feel after everything? So that's nice, as they don't like, I think of like The Bachelor and how they used to say they didn't get good, they didn't have like a welfare checks or anything. I think it's good that they do that.
Yeah, that's such a big thing. And I feel it's how they actually get to the root of people. Like, I feel like you're a great example why they would want you, because you have depth and a uniqueness. And I think that makes for great television. Like, someone who is storied, they're like, okay, there's going to be more than lived experience. But at the same time, there's probably some people they do put in there who are like so basic, barely anything to them, because they almost need like the normie. And I bet you like the person, like, I think a lot of us fantasize about being like, oh, I'd be the evil person. I was like, I feel they can root it out of you. Like, they do it all much. Like, my friend Derek, he actually was on The Amazing Race. And I asked him, I'm like, oh, when you applied, like, what'd you do? He's like, oh, I went pure evil. I will cut people off. And like, but he is like ruthless. Like, he's a great guy. But I'm like, oh no, he can turn that on. And you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like they'd root it out. Like, versus like someone like me, they would be able to be like, if I put on, or even you, be like the villain. And I was like, after a while, they would see the cracks, because we don't find enjoyment. Versus like, he kind of has a little bit that like enjoyment of the game and being the evil one. So I was like, I think it's so much harder to actually get cast as the evil one, because like everyone's trying to do it, and you're like, oh, I'm standing out so much. I'm like, but you can't stand out too much to be the crazy one.
Yeah. And in this game, you can't, it's not like you get casted as a person, right? Because you just play the game. Yeah. And it's like morally, ethically, how will you act? And I had said, I mean, I'm really competitive. So I was like, I'm not scared to stab people behind their backs because it's a game. But fully. Like, I would be sad. But the big thing was, I was like, I am a very smiley, bubbly person. I don't think they would know it came from me. And so they thought that was kind of funny. But I was like, oh no, are you kidding me? I'm a gamer. I was like, I am a gamer, bitches. Like, but I would do it. Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't mean I wouldn't hang out and get along with people until you have to, right? I mean, it's a game fully. At the end of the day.
And it's interesting. I would love to know if they did this for Squid Games, because there's so many people they had to hire. But I was actually listening to a podcast today with like from Love is Blind, Sparkle, Megan. Yeah, and Joey. That's who she was with, right? Joey. And they were talking about the algorithm. And they were talking about the algorithm on Love is Blind. And first time I've ever heard anyone reference this. But like, the casting does like do all these traits, and they have some kind of algorithm of like, oh, they wouldn't make sense on paper, but in reality they would. And the algorithm puts you on more dates with that person. So there's like an algorithm Netflix has for Love is Blind to try and like match people up and dating and all this kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
So it also makes me wonder with this, like, just imagine like there's probably some crazy AI stats, and like you get put into this and you get in this, and like in our mind, like we think of it old school, be like, I like her, like him, not her, not him, you know what I mean? But I actually think like they plug in all your details, do all this, and there's some crazy algorithm that like perfectly balances the show. Like, I'd be so interested about that.
Yeah, that's so true. I should have asked somebody, like, how do you cast for something? I mean, this is so large. Like, you could get it. I mean, there was 250,000 people that applied. And so to get the 456 was amazing. But think about the people that went home in the beginning that didn't even make to the episode. Oh. Like, they cut half of them before they even said episode 1. And like, how discouraging that would be. And that's where I think they just think, I bet you somebody advocates being like, you have a great story. I like your personality. I think you go well, but it's kind of a crapshoot. I think it's like, I guess we'll figure it out, because how do you kind of characterize that many people and like say you're really banking on somebody doing well, and then they get out the first one in a group game and they can't control it, you know?
Yeah. That's why they just have to have the games. Like, that's why those shows are so interesting. They're human psychology. At the end of the day, like, regardless of who they cast, you put a bunch of random people in a room and do these things, it will get crazy.
Oh, absolutely. People get petty. They get ruthless. People were like lying on it. Yeah. Like morally lying about things I would never lie about.
That's crazy.
So it's crazy. You'll have to tune in.
I'm
what would
excited.
be your reality show if you got on one?
I actually think I'd be really good at like The Amazing Race, like one of those ones. I feel like I feel that'd be like where I'm physical and like, you know what I mean, could like travel around and navigate. Like I'm pretty good in transit, and like I feel like so I feel like The Amazing Race, or I'm trying to think, yeah, like the Survivor ones. That would be the ones like competition in that sense. I would do good at. I'm trying to think.
Would you go on Survivor?
What? Sorry.
Would you go on Survivor?
See, here's the thing. I would want survival, but I also know myself that like I think I would physically wither away from not having enough sleep and like food so fast that like I wouldn't be good at it. Like I think, but also I'm like, I'd probably train for it. So I feel like not American Ninja Warrior or whatever that, but like some physical one that maybe didn't involve survival. Cause I feel the survival, like the cold nights, I just feel I would like wake up with like blister hands and hypothermia, and they'd be like, sorry, your like pale skin is burnt and that could be skin cancer. So you're out. Like,
yeah. They're like, and you have to leave.
So actually, like, I don't, not to copy you, but I think it's like if Squid Game's an Amazing Race, like I feel that would be, because not a dating show. You know what I would enjoy? Love Island, though. I think I would have had fun with that when I was single. Of just like, cause
really?
I just think because I would play it like summer vacation in a cool location with people. Like, you know what I mean? When I was younger in my 20s, I think I would have really enjoyed Love Island, of just this like
would you have
tropical
gotten
way.
frisky on TV?
No.
Where your family could watch it?
No.
Okay, that you have to do that on Love Island.
I know. Well, first, like the makeout and all, that's why I'm like, I don't know. But like, yeah, I think I'd have boundaries, but there's a couple characters you see on there and they do like put up limits so they don't fully go. But yeah, the making out with random people, I'd have trouble with that. But if I was drinking and young in my 20s, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. You're like, don't tempt me when I was 20. Honestly, though, watching Love is Blind this season, I was like, how do these people not know they're going to be on a Netflix show and they're blacking out or something? Like, it's just like how do you not realize you are on a show and like what you do can or will be used against you? Maybe don't get blacked out. Like,
I feel that was just the classic like boys moment in the sense of like, do you know what I mean? Like you're with the boys and you start drinking, you have a couple more, and then like once you're at that point, then you forget. Like, do you know what I mean? Like how many people are at like Christmas work parties and they forget they're in a professional setting? Like I feel that happens so often, or just like you're just liquid. But I felt so bad for some of the girls, like that one girl who clearly like couldn't. I forget, and like and every time she was drinking, she would just be so sad, and I'm like, oh, that's like
she'd be like, do you love me?
I'm just think like so many of us and our friends do that sometimes. You get that like cry, and to have it on television, I'm like, oh my God, absolutely not. I would be crushed.
The thing. Think about it. I don't like my memories of like me being an annoying blacked out person and insecure. What? Like we've all been there. Yeah. I would hate that can be just played over and over and over. And then like TikTok will scrutinize and like talk about it. That's where I'm like, I think if it was me, and clearly I should never go on these types of shows because I wouldn't get crazy. I'd be like, no, I'm staying sober, bitches. Mocktails all day because I don't know what I'm going to say when I'm drunk. Yeah. Like, I don't know how I'm going to act.
But to plead the fifth, actually, not that we're just making this podcast about the other podcast, but Joey mentioned that because Nick Vile, it was his podcast, and he was saying like, why didn't you guys control your liquor? And then Joey was like, I think it's kind of a good thing because you want to see who you're about to marry is like drunk. I'm like, true. Like,
yeah, but like, can't you do it off camera?
I guess, but I don't know how much off camera they get. Like, you know what I mean? So who knows that? That's another interesting one of like how much is filmed, but like. Yeah. Imagine like marrying someone, never seeing them drunk, and then find out they're a bad drunk.
Totally.
Nightmare.
It'd be horrible. Especially because like, okay, watching Love is Blind, I was talking to my mom about this. And I'm like, okay, obviously, like no one got married. So it's a pretty, I don't think Love is Blind at the end of the day. / I don't think it helps. They have like 2 weeks or like whatever, however long it is to decide if they want to marry each other. I'm like, okay, it's already hard enough to throw the love is blind situation on him. But then to be like, you need to choose if you're going to marry this human in 2 weeks or 2 months or whatever they have. That's so hard. That's like, give them one or the other, girlfriend. Like,
honestly, I'm always shocked. Not every single person goes up at the end and says, no, for now, let's continue dating. And they just do a handshake about it. Like, in my rationale, like, that's the only answer every single time. But the people do break up or make it work right there. I'm like, crazy. Can't fathom that.
No, you know who my favorite girl was on there? KB. Edmund's fiance.
Oh, she was awesome. She was
like just real. She'd just be like, oh, honey, come on. And I'm like, girl, you got a good head on your shoulders. What are you doing?
And when things were getting crazy, just like the rationale, you know what I mean? Just like come back, like, okay, back to center. Let's get back here. What are we doing?
Yeah. So cracks me up.
But that was
all the reality.
Season.
Have you seen Traitors?
No, I still haven't watched it. It's
on that's my dream show.
You'd be good at that.
So it's all in intuition and like reading people, and I'm really good at that. So I'm like, oh, that's like what I wanted in Squid Games, is like to be able to read who was lying and stuff and like those vibes. But there was my friend Jess texted me the other day. She's like, you love Selling Sunsets on Netflix. And I was like, oh girl, I do. I'm watching the newest season. I love the outfits. Honestly, the drama is like not good, but the girls are so pretty and the homes are so pretty. I'm just like, I could watch them talk all day. And so she was like, oh, do you know Maya from Selling Sunsets? I was like, yeah, I love Maya. And she's like, oh, well, I'm working on a deal with her in Puerto Rico because my friend's a realtor in Florida. And I was like, get out of town. And I was like, if she comes into town, to grab lunch with you, like, can you let me know so I can like pop in and like see her? And I was like, I just want to pop in and be like, hi. And she goes, oh, just come to lunch. And I'm like, I don't think you understand. If you invite me to lunch, I'm not going to be cool. But this is, what are your thoughts on this? I'd be like, Maya, hey girl. So like, I'm also a Netflix reality star. So don't worry. We're same. Tell me all the dirty deeds of Selling Sunsets. Yeah. And I'll tell you Squid Games. And then she'd be like, what were you on? And I'd be like, Squid Games. She'd be like, how far did you make it? I had a line. It's fine.
We're practically the same level, probably. Make
about
the same much.
Yeah. Tell me the dirty deeds.
I mean, she won't think you're weird. Not at all.
Right? But how funny if you're like, don't worry. I was on a Netflix show too. And she's like, what? Are you kidding me? I'm like, come on. Just tell me what happened on Selling Sunsets. I need to know what happened with Christine.
Yeah. So much I want to know about that show. I don't believe a single thing on that show.
No,
but it makes for great television. Just like,
oh my god, I love the fights,
the outfits and the houses. That's all I watch. Honestly, they could not even say anything. I just want to see what they walk in. I want to see the house, and then them just talk about the house, and then that's all I care about. I'm like, cut out all the drama. I'm like, I don't need it. I just want the house and pretty outfits.
Totally. I had a friend that was like, oh, I hadn't watched in a few years. Did anything new happen? I was like, no. I was like, honestly, they fight a lot, but then like they kind of full circle. It's like almost like they focus on one person and ruin their life for one season. And then the next season they get like to take a back seat because like they had to be the drama, and then they stay on the show and they're just kind of a supporting character. It's like kind of that. Yeah. She's like, oh, okay.
I never know if I've missed a season. Like every once in a while I'll pop up. Yes. Oh, I'll watch it. And then I'm like, what's going on? And like I press play. I don't even see if I've missed 3, and I'm just able to watch. I'm like, I could have watched all 9. I could have watched 3. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
Jason always has a new girlfriend.
Always. And she's always gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like honestly a really nice guy. Like I just watched a scene where he gave Mary 2 Rolexes. He's like, you know what, Mary? Have this one too. I never wear it. And I was like, what a nice ex-boyfriend.
I mean, none of my exes are doing that. I can tell you that much.
Do you think he's like, this is how I get my new girls is through this show, so I gotta shovel it out?
It's helping. It's helping.
It's definitely helping.
He can go in and meet someone and not have to hint that he's wealthy. It's just like, oh, everyone knows you're wealthy. You know what I mean? But he doesn't have to like do the sly thing at the first date. He can just, be himself and deep down know they know I'm rich. So I'm sure he does well in LA. Totally. I'm sure he does very well.
Totally. But it's always him dating a new girl. There's always some fight with like Chriselle and somebody else. Bree talking about her weird marriage with Nick or dating. It's always like kind of the same stories. And then just little like, did she say this about you? Which I still like.
You know what? It makes you watch because you're interested. And at the end of the day, you were like, oh, they probably like call each other and big. So we're going to hate each other this season, right? Of course. Okay. Talk to you next season. Hate you. Bye.
Yeah.
It's like I feel what it is.
I love watching them online after. And they get so mad at each other.
I don't really pay attention there, but I probably should. That'd be peak entertainment.
Yes. How was your weekend?
I moved out of the apartment to a house, which is crazy. It's like a skinny house, but still a house. And so I have a basement. So you know what? I'm overwhelmed. Ooh. I have no furniture because I moved and was like, oh, I've only ever furnished like 600 square foot apartments. So I have like nothing. So people are like, can we come over? I'm like, sure. Are you okay with sitting on the ground? But I've moved in. I'm excited. Homeowner, learning the ropes of that, being an adult. It's crazy. So I feel very blessed to do it. But like you said, a little overwhelmed, a little over the place, and just enjoying the vibes of having a basement to shove junk.
Are you going to like make it a gym? Like, do you have any basement dreams?
I do have a dream. And here's
what is it?
Because I have a very limited time in my life that I can do this. Okay. So I want it to be a London speakeasy meets like Polo New York vibes. So like the upstairs will be like really like clean and pretty and nice, and I want it to go down there and it'd be like DJ turntables, dark leathers, like music everywhere, and it just looks like you're transported to this like cool. So I was like, everyone comes over, I'm like, let's go get a drink downstairs, and just have like the nice, you know, like just vintage everything, dark leathers, and like think martini glasses. I'm like, oh, let's go have a little prosecco and some martinis down in the basement and play music. And then unfortunately, as soon as my nephew is probably 8, it will become a hockey rink where he will just slam things. So, you know, I got a couple years that I could just be the cool aunt with my little speakeasy that the friends can come drink at.
I love this. Mm-hmm. Have you like started doing anything to it?
No, because I need to get a table and a couch before I go there. So I'm a little ahead of myself with that. But I'm like, could probably use a dresser or, you know, side tables. You know, sadly, I got to buy the basics, and furniture is so freaking expensive. Oh my God. It's so expensive. And so
sometimes Facebook Marketplace is good if it's like a dresser.
That's a good, I know I'm looking for a vintage like wooden dresser. So I'm on the perusal of seeing what I can get.
Yeah. Or can you get Costco shipped to you in Canada?
Yeah, we have like Costco and Instacart, and then I think you get it shipped. That's actually a good idea.
Because Costco is where I get all of my furniture, and I can send you a picture of unless you've seen them. I have a white couch and a gray couch, and they're both from Costco.
I actually have giant.
You need a table.
I have a table. The things I did buy right off the bat was couch, table, chairs, but they're all in like ship. It takes like 6 weeks, so I'm just like there. So I paid the money, so I can't really buy other things, but I'm just kind of like, I have a beanbag chair in my living room right now from Amazon, so.
Nice.
Luxurious.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Well, check out their furniture is actually really solid, and it's like it looks really nice.
Okay, that's a good. And also, you know what I'm doing? We're like 2 weeks away from Black Friday, so I'm like, you know what? I know. I'm just like holding off on like any big I'm gonna get I need a vacuum cleaner, like all these. I'm like just writing everything down, and it's gonna be an expensive Black Friday, but it will be a worth it Black Friday.
Yes. Imagine the TV you can get on sale.
I could probably get $100 flat screen TV. You know what I mean?
TVs I feel like are so much more affordable these days.
My TV, which is this big thing, does everything possible. $200. Remember when they were like $1,000 for a flat screen?
Yes.
I'm like, they just give them away. Like, iPads are more expensive.
No, literally though, it's actually crazy. Like Michael and I once were looking at TVs, and we're like, when did they like not become a hot item? Yeah. Like they're so affordable compared to. I mean, my dad would. Like for years beg my mom to get like a giant flat screen TV, you know, and it was so expensive with his credit cards, you know. It's just crazy now. I'm like, he can just go buy a TV for $200 and it's bigger than the one we grew up with.
I'm gonna have I've only ever had a TV, one in the living room. I'm like, I can probably have one in the bedroom, living room, upstairs. Like I probably have three TVs. The Apple TV, that's what is expensive.
Oh, yeah, but you could just get a Fire Stick on Amazon
That's the call. That's the call.
And you can get everything. You can get Apple TV.
I do actually. I already have Apple TV, so I'm.
Oh, you already
there.
have the Apple TV.
I do, because I've saved so much money on my $200 TV that I bought Apple TV.
Fair. Yeah. Did you get the new iPhone?
I did.
Dang, I'm waiting.
I know.
I'm going to LA next week, and I can't wait to get my hands on it.
It's worth. You know what? You have to be one of two people with Apple TV. Like I feel, either you have to upgrade every year, and let me explain why, or you have to wait like 5 years. Because like it doesn't really make massive changes like until it's like 4 or 5 years, and then your camera starts looking like potato. But if you upgrade every year, your like churn in value is so high that it's actually like not that bad. Like I feel like like every year I get the new one, and I always trade in my old one, and it's can be like 60 to 70% of the value, and then you just like add a little $10 to $15 a month on your not that I want to recommend financing. This is not financial advice, but yeah, like it's pretty much I just pay a couple $100 every year and just like add $10 to my monthly bill, and I get the new phone every year. So I was like,
good deal.
Just don't be the every 2 years. I feel that's where you rip yourself off. It's like
do
shoot, 4 or 5
that's
or 1.
Me.
I know.
That's
then
literally
your trading
me.
value is like $100, $200. So think about it. So I'm like, there's my little hack, my Apple hack. Every year or every 4 years.
Okay. See, the problem that I have is I can only go to a Verizon store. We don't have Verizon in Puerto Rico. So I have to do it when I'm on the mainland. And like, it's so unfortunate because like half the time I just don't think to do it. But that's so good. Okay, I'll note every year. I cannot wait 4 years. I mean, that's our freaking job. That's like nutso if I wait, you know?
I think I lost you there. Lost you for a split second.
I got you. Can you hear me?
Yep. We might have to wrap this up soon. On that note, the Wi-Fi might be cutting us off, and so we can have a bit more of a nicer goodbye versus that last one, the first time back. That might be our sign.
I agree. You want to wrap it up, or you want me to?
On that note, I just want to say thank you for taking this time as I got to interview the newest Netflix star, the sensation. And you know what? One day we're going to look back at this when you're actually on Survivor and, you know, made it all the way and you're just in the Netflix ecosystem. We're going to say she started from a kill shot on Squid Games and now she's here. The next Harry Jowsey.
Let's hope. Oh, please don't ever call me the next Harry Jowsey. There could be any other reality TV star than Harry Jowsey.
I know, he's not the great one, but just like if you had to name like who made it the most, you got to give him credit. He took it and ran, and I hope with that. So you want the career path, not the personality. Career path, not personality, is what I want for you.
Yeah, I still think we could have found a better one, but I agree.
I'm trying to think of someone. Name all the Bachelor girlies who you forget are Bachelor girlies now and are just
Caitlin
famous.
Bristow.
Perfect. The next Caitlin Bristow.
Love.
Yes.
Becca Tilly.
Okay. Perfect.
Love.
That's what we're manifesting.
Perfect. Sorry, no offense, Harry. He seems like a lovely man, but I'm sorry. That man
he's
did
got
some
awful
dirty
reputation,
things.
so that's fair. That's fair.
I'll take Caitlin Bristow. She's funny.
Okay. Perfect. Done.
Okay.
You look a lot more like her.
There we go. Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Well, we will see you guys soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.